How do everyone? Cerulikat here, and it has been a while since my last recording now to think about it, but I kind of wanted to hold off on everything until I actually got back from PAX West, as I explained in one of my previous videos that I'd be going to. Actually, I was kind of a tentative on it, so I didn't really want to say much more about it until I was like solid, or at least there. And sure enough, everything went off without a hitch. I was quite glad for the experience. Very amazing. Oh my gosh. It's just so much. So much. I'm not even sure where to begin on it, but oh, it was so much fun. And I was so sad because unlike other people that I had met and a lot of the YouTubers, the big people, pretty much were able to stay the full 4 days, Friday through Monday it was. I didn't even know it was 4 days. I was used to the whole other PAX experiences of being like Friday through Saturday, or I mean Sunday, and and I figured, oh well, 2 out of 3 ain't bad, whatever. And then I figure out later on, it's like, oh well, there's a Monday thing too, and oh by the way, there's going to be some extra panels on Sunday and Monday that I would have loved to have gone to in person, but you only have so much money, so you make do with what you got. Let's see, to begin with on this crazy adventure, I guess I'll just start with the arrival, because I took Delta on out there, and with all the things I was hearing about with delays and computer downtime, and with Mark's video, oh my god, of him trying to come back from, what was it, DC? I don't know where the hell he was staying. I know he's with Bob, and like with his, like, what was it, 4 days in a row of like not being able to go home, and I was thinking, oh please dear God, don't let it be me, especially since mine was gonna be connecting over to LAX, and I was like, shit, that might not go too well for me. And my mother was telling me about stuff that she was seeing in the news about like how there was delays, and there was reports of people being freaked out, so they had to clear out the terminal, and it just turned out to be a false alarm or whatever. I didn't want to get caught up in the whole BS of not having to be able to make my flight, though it would have been interesting to shoot my own video, though I wouldn't be able to have Bob to come beat my ass with a belt. I don't think I'd want that. So we're on our way over there, and lands, everything's perfect. We actually arrive early to the point where they didn't have room for us to taxi to any one of the gangplanks or walkways or whatever the hell they call them. So what they do is they taxi us out in the middle of nowhere. Well, not nowhere, but like to this far-flung place away from all the other planes. And we have to escape by way of escape. Yeah, we have to come out of the plane by stairs, and I was like, oh wow, this is going to be great. I've never experienced anything like this. It's like I'm going to feel like the president, come out, wave, like, hey, what's up? No, nothing that extravagant ever happened, but it immediately reminded me of like, oh man, this is going to be just like Speed. Because as soon as they got us off the plane, they got us on one of those buses that you saw in the movie. If you've seen the movie, you should watch the movie. And there was packed. There was no place for people to sit. Well, all the seats were taken. So I'm just standing there going, hanging to the wave and turns, because holy crap, that bus liked to do some turns. It was one of those double long ones with the accordion in the middle. I wish I had gotten video of it, but I was too busy holding on for my life to not fall over to even bother. So, moving along, and I'm imagine it's like another bus coming up beside us. And it's like, come on, we're letting you off one at a time. We've got the, Keanu Reeves. We've got the video on loop, and Dustin Hover is like not aware, and it's like, we're gonna save you guys quick before the bus runs out of gas. So I was kind of imagining myself kind of being an extra in this stupid action movie, but nothing ever that exciting that happens, thank goodness. Yeah, that happened, and flight to Seattle was great. We make it to Seattle. Nice cold weather. In fact, it shocked me a little bit when I walked out of the terminal. I was like, oh, no, comfortable AC, everything's pretty chill up into that point. Walk outside of the terminal, it's all like, ooh, okay, I'm not ready for this. I'm used to the Texas humid heat weather, and then I come outside and it's like, boom, like either high 50s, low 60s, something around there, and I'm just like, oh, it's going to be a few months before I start feeling this, probably not even until November if I'm lucky. very easy to walk through downtown. I gotta say, I rank it right up there with Austin. It's very mellow, laid back, nice and chill. I mean, laid back in a sense that it didn't seem like too much of a rush. It's like there was no buttons to actually press for crosswalks. Everything was just regulated on a rather easy timer. It's just like, boom, wait until your light turns red or, or green, until you see the little Walkman, and just like, that's it. It's just easy. I hit my elbow. Damn it. Oh, that sucked. Oh, it's so tingly. Okay. Oh, don't do that twice. All right. But yeah, it's cool. It was laid back up until that convention time ran out because, started running because there was a lot of people out there, and that's when you kind of got the feel of like the numbers that were attending this convention. And I also knew of the convention center from ECC because I was actually wanting to go, but damn, those tickets ran out fast by the time I thought and knew I'd planned it. So, oh well. Maybe in the future, who knows. But for now, I love me these PAXs. They're awesome, and I'm glad I made the trip. But I'm going to get more into that later on in the video. Saw a lot of cute dogs being walked around this big downtown dog walking area, especially this cute little chihuahua. Was like, and I was like, oh, he's so tiny. Oh man. But yeah, made it to my hotel, which as the cab was taking me, we went up this steep hill, and I'm thinking, oh my god, I'm gonna have to go down and up this every time I'm gonna go to the convention center or whatever. And I was like, that's gonna get old so fast. And it did. It's not for the faint of heart. You've got to have had some good walking legs. If walking on level ground for a few meters or feet like wins you, this is not for you, because this was one hell of a grade. I actually counted. It was actually as if someone were to put a ramp at the that leads you up to the top of a 6-story building, and you climb that. It was like this. I kid you not. There's a picture. Oh, just looking at that. Nope. Oh, no. That was too much. That was a lot. That was an ordeal. It winded me, but I got a good workout. Let me tell you, I've got some firm glutes and sexy legs now, because that was like, I even worked out a way of walking down and walking back up. It was great. I was like, oh, I needed this, sitting on my ass all day playing games and recording videos and drawing and animating. Yeah, get me up this hill. It's like nature knew it. And it was all uphill. It was gradual at first, but that last part, it's like, can you imagine? She's just walking all day from hotel to hotel, because it was 4 hotels and no. Westin, Sheraton, Hyatt, Convention Center, the Bellanova Hall Theater. Okay, so there's like 5 places you could have gone. And they're within walking distance. It's all easy to get to if you know your cross streets or whatever. You navigate that, it's fine. But after you're doing all of that, and then you walk all the way up, you're just like, it's time to go home, because there's a flight of stairs, because the convention center is like 6-7 stories tall. You have to go up at least 3 of them to get to the street level, to where I can get to the street to where I can then access the service level to get to my hotel. And it's just uphill, and then you're tired, and you're just like, oh, and then you have to take a shower because you don't want to be all sweaty and gross by the time you meet more people and hang out and wait in line. Always wash. It's like, get off that plane, get a scrub. You had a long day, get a scrub. It's like, just be considerate to the people around you, because you might think you don't smell, but at the end of the day, you probably smell like everything you ate, be that cookies, bacon, cheese, cheddar, biscuits, whatever. I don't know. Just get it off you, man. It's probably gross. It's building up. Yeah. But yeah, the hotel was interesting. It was like something out of the past. It was actually part of a hospital. And it had a lot of the old, it reminded me of like a Parisian hotel. It was very quaint. And the elevator, holy shit, that thing was ready to go. I mean, the door opened before the thing even came to stop. So you see like people coming down like oh, if they were quick enough, they could probably kind of stumble out of it like a good 1.5 feet. So it's just like, okay. And it's like, and then like getting into it, just like the elevator door is already closing on your ass, and you're like, ah, okay, you know, like step off, son. I need some space. You know, let me get my bag on, whatever. Oh, that was something. As I explained in one of the chat streams, it's like that thing was something out of a Stephen King novel. That was some scary crap because uh, it like had the wallpaper and the wood trim, brass fittings, all this other classy looking stuff. And I kept thinking of like, you know, if there was anything that was going to happen evil, you know, it could have easily been shot as a set piece in that elevator. But you know, after a while, we kind of work out the temperament of the thing, and it was all right for the rest of the 3 nights that I was there. And I was kind of hoping, given the age of the hotel, that something haunted or spooky would happen on the floor or in my room, but it never did. But whatever, you know. I was like, geez, man, you know, it's like some people would try to want not that to happen. And let me give you an idea of the age of this place. It had like a wooden door with an old-timey latch for a fridge. This thing was built into the wall. I'm not talking about like one on the floor in a cabinet like they have in more modern hotels. No. This thing was built into the wall, like cut out. I thought it was a dumbwaiter. I literally thought like, oh, you know, can I like put my clothes and they'll iron it and shimmy it back up for me? No, this thing was a full-on fridge with a metal radiator, it looked like galvanized metal, and there was like this metal ice cube tray with little square slots. I was like, whoa, that thing is old. I was like, holy shit. It was like, and it wasn't even working. That thing wasn't on. It was just there to, I don't know, maybe like fill the little ice bucket with ice, put that in there, put your stuff in there, and you can keep it at a different relative temperature than the ambient one of the room. I don't know. I guess fresh, whatever. I didn't want to put any food in there because I felt like I was going to forget it. I've done that before. That sucked. I bought fish and chips when I went up to Dallas one time, and it was one of those extended stays, and it was like a full-on fridge, like head to toe, top to bottom, whatever, full fridge. And I was like, oh, keep it fresh, whatever. I'll take this home. It'll be great. Yum. But it came the day of checkout. Completely forgot. Packed up everything, left. So whoever went to clean that, free fish dinner. So I guess I'll get on to the convention part of the tour. That was amazing. It, like, as I mentioned with the people, it was so crowded. I mean, you might as well just walking down. I felt like perhaps... maybe not to the degree of downtown New York, because I've seen some B-roll footage of that. That's hella packed, but it kind of felt like that because it's just like walking shoulder to shoulder with a crew of people just meandering around the streets, seeing where to go, whatever. But especially the closer you got to the convention center, ooh. And then there was actually like a line just to get up to the escalators to just even get in onto the expo floor, which was on the 4th floor, where everything was. And holy crap. Now that was a display zone. I'm used to PAX South, and that to me that was a lot. But this, whoo, holy monkey, that was a whole other animal, man. This thing, and just when you thought you had seen everything, like, oh my god, that's so much, and it's overwhelming, and you're just like, oh, how am I ever gonna see all this? And you just meander. You try to like cross and figure eight and double back. It's like because you don't know if you missed anything. And pretty much the only thing that I was really looking forward to was the Sonic Mania. I really wanted to see that, and I'm actually quite excited when that comes out because it looks pretty much graphically as close as how it looked from Sonic 3 and up. Which to me, when I started playing, I was introduced with Sonic and Knuckles, and then later was able to get Sonic 3. And to do the whole stacking plug into the Sega Genesis. That was awesome. But yeah, it looks like that, and I'm glad. I'm cautiously optimistic of where that's going. So I'm hoping that's awesome. But the big names out there in the booths, I mean, everything was huge. You may have seen pictures. They had like a huge T-Rex. They had a dragon you can sit on. It was just like boom. They had a giant Jinx, the Geek Apparel company, like a giant skull with the glasses. That was there. what was it, Weta Workshop. They had a cool, well, I don't know if this was part of Weta, but there was a cool orange robot, and there was a giant orc. He was just ready to like slam his hammer down. I was like, wow. And that thing was impressive. That was huge. And they had all this authentic looking weaponry that they were selling at their own little booth. It was something else. The level of merchandising and promotioning that was going on here. Lots of VR stuff. I regret not being able to have done that, but I don't know. Maybe next time. Maybe I'll give it a shot. But a part of me was just like, it would probably be great as an experience. But at the moment, you know, it's like I can't really afford, you know, getting a Vive. So I'd rather not like give that temptation at the moment. Maybe in the future sometime, whatever. It's not like a goal that I have to like, ooh, you know, got to do virtual reality. Oh boy. But yeah, it's noise. It was like darkened like an arcade, you know, show lights going everywhere. Just, you know, kind of like a club, but just video games and people. And, but yeah, anyway, as I was saying earlier, there was, as soon as you thought you got through everything, then there was the Sky Bridge, and that had its own level of sales stuff going on. I've seen this thing from back when I used to try to follow streams of the Emerald City Comic Con. That looked cool, little skywalk. But yeah, the thing is huge. You can like probably fit a sizable house on the thing. It's so wide and so long. It's beautiful though. It's well lit, and you're coming out of the dark, and you're like and you're trying to adjust, and then you go back into the darkness on the other side, and there's more of that. And oh my goodness, it's just insane. And the funny thing is like, of all the big names that I saw there that I was impressed by, and it was great. They had great setups, very professional. Even the peripheral makers like Logitech and Astro and all them others, the usuals I've seen before. What was the name of the Racer DX chairs? I always see them at these PAXs, so I'm kind of used to it. It's one of those things like, oh, okay, whatever, you know, keep walking. Unless they got something, you know, spectacularly cool, I'll keep going. Though Logitech did have their full-on screen made out of keyboard keys. If you ever seen that, it's like a little like pixel art, but it's, you know, displayed by their colored keyboards that they have. Just, I guess, show the dynamics of how, you know, how they work and what can be done. Just more of a technological showpiece than anything functional beyond that. So when you finish that, what I found myself gravitating to more so was the indie games, because for those actually interest me more. Not to say that there's anything wrong with the big name stuff, but I really like the look and the draw, and there was like internalized some of the names of the ones that like intrigued me the most, and I'm looking forward to actually like trying to play those when they ever come out. Some of them, about a small percentage of them were actually in VR, and I was like, hey, this is pretty nice. And you know, I was like, kudos on them, because these look like well polished games. The frames were great, you know. They look like they were just ready to release, and if not, they probably are released, because I don't really keep up with this stuff. I don't like troll Steam every day to see like, oh, what's the latest greatest new game that's out there, because it's only so much that I can do with my time. But yeah, it was a fantastic little booth right there, and then you walk over, and then there's even more, and it's just like there's just not enough time. And I can imagine it's like if you had to like, and most of these had lines, and I can't imagine. I don't know. There was something at least for everyone there. That was the great thing. It's like, if you weren't interested in any indie games, you at least had your AAA people there. And if you didn't like the AAA people, obviously had the indies. And if the games didn't even interest you, you had the card games and the tabletop. And I mean, Wizard of the Coast was there doing their whole D&D stuff with Chris Perkins, and it was awesome. There was just, you know, for a geek out there who wanted something to follow, look at, and enjoy in all its entirety and glory, you know, this was it. You know, there was something for you. At least give it a shot. Come out and take a look, you know. And then on the floor or two above that, there was more game displays. I think this is more of your card game, board game stuff. I think it was. I was on the 6th floor. Can't remember much what was on there. I know that's where the Jinx skull was. A lot more merchandising, a few more indie games that I saw there. Nice setups that they had there. More t-shirt sales was really cool. It's also warmer up there, so I didn't spend a lot of time in that zone too much, but it was nice to at least once you got the floor out of the way and you got to see whatever your games that you wanted to. That was it, you know. It was like, for me, I was like, okay, now what? I walked it twice in case I missed something, but since I wasn't gonna wait in line for anything, I did stop by. I did find the Sega booth, whatever, and watch the playthrough, and that's what I was saying. It's like, this thing looks awesome, so I stuck around for that a bit. Okay, so one thing I forgot to, I also wanted to mention was that, as you can see here, I'm actually wearing a t-shirt from Able Gamers. I got it at the one of the booths that they had up there, and it's one of the very few things that I even bought because I wasn't into the whole merchandise that I've already seen before. But yeah, Able Gamers charity, very cool organization. Actually, on Bob's music charity, he was actually wearing his Able Gamers shirt too. And they're a great organization. They help people with disabilities live better, more emotionally healthier lives through the social activity of gaming. You know, gives them the opportunity to be able to do it. So it was a good cause. So I got myself a cool t-shirt, and I'll put a link in the description below if you want to ever check them out. That was cool, so check them out. Yay! So I guess I will get to my time with Jack, Wade, Bob, Mark. I'm going to drop a lot of names here. I'm sorry, but I'm trying to think of all the people that I saw. Jack, yeah, Wade, Bob, Mark, PewDiePie, Cinnamon Toast Ken, Holly, Commander Holly, Jimmy Wetzel. He was with there. I wish I saw Jared again, but he wasn't around. I don't know what he was doing. Who else? The girlfriends, of course, were there, but I'll get to that. Well, I'll mention Molly because she does her own streaming channel thing. And then She-Flight Day, the editor for Wade, I met her. There was Scarlett. She's a cosplayer. She was, I guess, part of the group of people with Intoin, Tashker Beagley, who else? I think that was it. Oh, Megan Camarena from Strawberry 17. There with John, her boyfriend. Lena Madrid, and I forget his other name. The other guy that hangs out on her channel. Anyway, they were all there. Saw all of them. That was pretty awesome. If I'm missing someone, forgive me. But from what I saw, and there was actually a lot more people that I didn't know that were going to be there until I saw like photos of them. Like, thanks for a great time, PAX West. I'm like, you were there? You didn't post anything. It's like, God damn it, I was like, I could have told me if there's a meetup. I would have said, hey. But I don't know. They don't have to meet people. A lot of people don't. If they're there just to hang out with their friends and have their own experiences, by all means. They don't know me or any of the fans. Pretty much anything. It's just like, hey, have a good time. Thanks for stopping by. If you do have a photo op or signing, whatever, awesome. I appreciate it. But yeah, anyway, oh man, I had to wake up early to do the whole signing for Mark and Wade, and that was the scary part because when I got there, I was actually sitting outside for a good 15 minutes. I was like, do I wait out here? Is there going to be a line inside? And of course, I started to see people kind of lingering in and out. I was like, maybe I should go inside. So I walk in, and there's like a guy in a little Mario hat is like explains to me, he's like, okay, there's going to be two. There's going to be the Revel Mode and Gang at 11, and then there's going to be Markiplier and Friends at 1. And I was like, oh, and it's like, I was thinking, it's like, can I do the PewDiePie one and then do the Mark? And it was like, and the guy realistically told me, it's like, look, by the time you're probably out of this line, the one for Mark is going to be capped. So in my mind, I was like, Huh. Okay, so either I get to meet Jack, or, because I follow Ken, and I watch a few of PewDiePie's stuff, but they're not as big in my world as the Mark and his friends are. But I do watch Jack. In fact, just before I started this recording, I just finished rewatching, I should say, because I actually watched it as it aired. But I rewatched the Jack Septiceye panel that he had on Monday, and that was awesome. And I really loved what he said about how he wanted, he wanted YouTube to accommodate itself better for animators. So, thumbs up, man. Thank you so much for that. And all my other animator buddies, Gritty Sugar and Foolish Captain Kia, Crambersher, CR Twigs, Scribble Netty, Lexian Tunes. Did I get that right? There's more. There's a lot of people out there. You should check them out. Look them up. Spread the word. Support them. Anyway. But yeah, I thought that was awesome. But anyway, so it was either choice between Jack, seeing him getting assigned, yay, or Mark and all the other people. And I was like, sorry, Jack. Maybe next time. I don't know, but there's more people I know on this side of the group, so I'm gonna have to go with him. So I sacrificed Jack, get in line. Happened to be 10th, as I tweeted out, because I didn't realize how early I was, but there's a lot of people camping out already. So I'm sitting there like, I'm in here for the long haul. Sat on the floor, kind of chilled out, and it was cool though. It was nice. At first, everyone was kind of insular, talking amongst themselves, people they knew, and then as time went on, people slowly opened up because you know what, I'm gonna be sitting here for a while, sharing, icebreakers or whatever. So I was talking with this group of ladies around me. I wasn't the only guy, mind you. It was far more females, yes, but I'm glad I wasn't the only dude in line. It was just the majority of everyone in front of me, except for one. There was one other guy. It was everyone in front of me in the line was all female. But anyway, I made some good acquaintances with these kind ladies. One of them was actually there. This would have been her 4th time, and she was sharing all the pictures that she was. I wish I remember her name. Really short. She said she was 5'4". She's a tiny lady. She was really cute, really sweet. She was showing us here's Mark when I first met him. Here he is again. It's kind of see. This is back when he had no dye in his hair. I was damn. He's I'm pretty sure he's gonna recognize you when he sees you. And this other girl was telling me a story about how she was here last year, and then how her sister got in a fight in line with someone else, and they had to escort her out, but she couldn't stay because her sister was her guardian, so they got her a quick signing, and then out the door she went. And I was like, ooh, that sucks. And the ladies next to me on the other side, who had actually won PAX West tickets from some sort of contest. I don't know if it was a charity or something, but anyway, they actually had one, and what's the request was hey, pick a PAX and we'll get you tickets for it. And they're Prime. They were from Alberta, Canada, so that was pretty awesome. Getting to know and meet them and talking to them. Both were, I think, were teachers, or at least training to be. One was getting her degree. The other one, she was telling about her school days. But anyway, the whole point of all this was that it's such a wonderful community, and it was fun to kind of just open up and share stories, and how open and kind everyone was. People were just fantastic, and you just kind of chilled out. And another part of it was after the day was over, even after this whole experience was done with, I met actually 2 of them walking the floor after the fact, and you see them and you waved hi and you smiled, and it was great. And another one I met in the line when I was getting in to see Markiplier Friends Panel, and she recognized me and she waved and she said hello, and it was nice. And I saw her again when I was waiting for yet another panel, a Polaris one with Wade, and Comic Storian and Megan, and I forget who else was there. Those are the only names that I remembered. But that was where I met Molly and Day. I wish I had gotten a picture with Molly. Dang it. I'll get it next time. But but yeah, I met her again, and she's like, "Oh, hey," and she waved. She was really nice. She was like the mother of the actual fan of the daughter, but I think in a way she was a fan herself because she knew a few things, and she was like the cool mom. It sounded like, and she was really nice, and I just loved that. It's like you just made these connections. And the teacher later, after I got in line and we sat down, they were right in the row behind me. And I saw them, I was like, oh, I was like, hey, and like, yay, we made it, and we thumbs up, and it was just that, again, that connection, and it was just like, supportive community, and it was just fantastic, Never, total strangers, never met them, probably will never see them again. But if either any of you somehow come across this video by chance, whatever, I remember one of them was named Michaela, and another one, her name was Bella. And I'm sorry I can't remember the other two names, but tell your friends or whatever if you know the other persons. Thanks for being cool and talking with me and just being nice. I really appreciate it. It made the whole line waiting experience just go by so fast. And in return, I kind of like try to exude a calm chill, because for me it was just like I didn't want to be that overexcited person. It's just like, they're people, yeah, they're great, and I respect them, and I think they're amazing, and they inspire me. But I wasn't just gonna be this gushing, like blubbering, squeaking, freaking out fan. And I did see a lot of that, and I was like, whoa. And I think there was a kind of a contact on it. I was like, guys, calm down, just chill. It's like, it's gonna be all right. It's gonna be all right. Just be all right. Just be yourselves. So I was trying to, and the girl who was there like 3 to 4 times, she was just like, this ain't my first rodeo. I'm down. I totally know this. She was excited, but she was just like, it's Mark. It's like my friend. I'm gonna say hi again. But yeah, she was just a really big fan. She was like decked out. She had the Wharf Stash socks. She had I forgot what else. She had a little necklace with his little pink mustache. She even had little braided caboodle things. Excuse me. It was amazing. And the whole time, and I remember thinking, it's like, oh, I had so many things I wanted to say, when it comes to signings, like, what are you going to say? What do you want to say to them? Because they gave you a minute each per person to think of something to say, and I had things in mind to say, but when you're in the moment, it gone. It just goes away, man. Unless you wrote it down and you're on like the back of your wrist, like, so Jack, on the last episode of blah blah blah, what did you think of this? No, I just wanted to be totally natural, and just let it flow. And for the most part, that was it. And I said, hey Jack, what's up? And it's like, sick tattoo, bro. And he's like, yeah, thanks. And it's like a little dry. And I joked with him, I was like, maybe you should just go outside and stand in the rain for a bit, because it was actually drizzling that morning. And then Wade, he actually recognized me, which was awesome. Well, I guess it's not too far-fetched for him to think that he would forget, because that was only what was PAX West in February, wasn't it? So it was like March, April, May, June, July, August. Yeah, it's about 5-6 months. Yeah. But it was awesome because, like, I never even told him my name, but he recognized my face because I was waiting in line and he was being goofy with the other people. He actually, made eye contact with me and explained, like, camera angles, because he was doing some weird body contortions to, I guess, trying to get in the frame of individual people's selfies and shots. And I was just smiling and just joking. I was like, yeah, do the Matrix, man. Just, so yeah, I pretty much told each one, well, except for Bob, that it's like, hey, I'm an artist. My name's Cerulikat, because I was wearing my logo shirt on, got to represent. So I was like, hey, just like, I draw. My name's Cerulikat. I make animations. I'm going to try to make one for you guys when I get the time. So, remember me. And Wade actually remembered Ginny, because I was like going down the list, like, of Grady Sugar and Foolish Captain Key and C.R. Twigs, and his eyes light up. It's like, oh yeah, she just made an animation for me, and I was like, oh, and I need to send an email to Kelly because she needs to finish drawing. She needs there was something, I guess, I don't know, between the animation, and I was like, yeah, wait, don't forget, you need to get right on that. So it was nice to kind of have that little moment, and I had asked Bob like how I was there for. I told him I was there for the Music Aid charity that he had, and I asked him how his leg was after he waxed them, and he was like, "Yeah, it's exceedingly painful." But he was really nice. It was cool to meet him. I was surprised like how tall those two dudes were. They were taller than me, and I was taller than Jack and Mark. But you know, it was like those guys were towering. I could see why Wade played basketball. But Mark, oh my gosh, he was completely chill. He was just like, "Hey, how's it going? It's good to meet you." Yeah. And I was like, and I told him like who I was, and I was like, I'm an artist and an animator. And it's like, oh yeah. And he was like, you any good? And I was like, what do you say when Mark asks you? It's like, hell yeah, I'm good. Now, I mean, not to brag or boast about it, but it's like I'm confident in the skills that I have. Sure, I want to improve in my work, and there's more I have to learn. But it's like, you know what? I believe in the stuff that I've learned so far. So I was like, yeah. So he's like, yeah, just like, and I'm Cerulikat, and he's like looking around, like, oh, like he wanted to actually write it down to remember, and I was like, all right. So I was like, hey man, you got a Twitter? He's like, yeah, tweet at me. I was like, all right. So I did, and that's essentially why I took the pic of what I was talking about. I don't know how soon he wanted it, but I figured get it out there, and I've tweeted him before, so if he sees it, yay. If he doesn't, well, he'll get the animation, and hopefully he'll get his attention then. So it's not a big hurry, it's got millions of people clamoring for his attention. I'm just a small pebble in the great pile of pebbles. Drop in the ocean, I guess, is a better analogy. But yeah, it totally chill. Just joked with every one of them. It was just an amazing experience. And the same thing went for meeting Holly, and she remembered my name because I had Tinder streams and I watch her vids and just say hi. And I've drawn art for her too, of course. I need to make another one. It's been a while. But I met her at Strix, and she was really cute in her cosplay. I was glad to meet her, and she gave me a little bit. Yay, a little bit. Pet. It's so cute. Oh, so great meeting her. And she just really appreciated, now that she has a face to go with the name, maybe it'll be more memorable for future art projects and streams, but we'll see. She's really busy lately, and it was just nice to actually see her in a moment of something that she loves to do, which is the whole cosplay and D&D, put together. And then since Jimmy was there with her, it's like, hey, I remember him, because lately her videos have included him with Stardew Valley and on Steam Train? I think it was Steam Train, because it wasn't Grumpcade. Anyway, it was one of the two, but it was with Ross and the Pepsi Man. If you've ever seen that, you got it. The struggle on that is so real, and I was just commenting, it's like, oh my god, I can't believe how you got that, and he was kind of telling me the whole behind-the-scenes issues that they were having, like it's just straight shoot and how excruciating it was. And I congratulate him. I was like, man, kudos for like just getting through it, because damn. But yeah, it is just part of those moments. And speaking of moments, I kind of have to get back to the Markiplier Friends Panel, because that was a big thing. If any of y'all haven't watched it, you definitely should. But it was as soon as as soon as they came out, because Mark was kind of doing his little comic shuffle of walking out, and I was like, there's something up with that dude. Like the atmosphere's kind of weird between them. And then as soon as he made the jokes and gave the floor away, and I was like, and as soon as he started mentioning Molly to get up on the stage, I was like, oh, I know exactly where this is going. And I was just waiting for that other foot to drop on this one, because it's like, oh boy. And it's like, here we go. And then that's when he started going the whole thing, and I was just like, oh my god, it finally happened. Because everyone been thinking, and there was jokes about it all the time on the Twitter, if you've ever followed him, about how like the friends like, so when you get married, and I was like figuring it's like at some point this is gonna happen, because they've been together for so long, and they've been happy, and they're just so cute and great together that it's just like, if they wanted to do that, I mean, they didn't have to, but if they ever wanted to, it's like they totally could, and I feel like it would work. I believe in that relationship. So it happened. Oh my god, and it was beautiful. And from my perspective, and even from the stream, you can't really see her face because she got that hair in front of it, and but you can just, the emotion was like, I was like, no, stop. You know, like the tears, the feelings. I was all verklempt. I was just like, oh my god, oh, my headset. It was too much. And then later on there was another proposal, and it was like, oh, and I could see with Mark, it's like, oh, it's emotional. It just takes so much out of you. It's just like, oh my goodness. And it was just so beautiful. And congratulations once again, Molly and Wade. And it's funny because just the day before, I met Molly, and they were just boyfriend and girlfriend, and now they're freaking engaged. And it was like, oh, what's up with that? It's just amazing. It's just like, it finally happened to just be there in person. It was just, it was fantastic. And then during the Q&A, I actually happened to be sitting with this guy, husband and wife. His name was Tyler, because he said, "Hi, Tyler." I didn't know his name, but I just knew he had Markiplier hair, because his hair was red, and he was, I think it was Vietnamese, because he kind of had like some Asian cast to his face. So, but yeah, he was cool. He was very extroverted, and I spent a lot of time in line kind of just talking to him, and he was pretty cool. That's where I got my little pipe cleaner stuff, because the enforcers walked around and giving away stuff, and I made a little heart. Also, if you ever saw the Twitter post, I also made a little kitty, but they also came by again, so I got more and made a more complete Cerulikat. Meow. So yay. Anyway, there's that. So yeah, he was a cool guy, and it was just funny because as soon as it came time to question time, it's like, you know, Wailing Flailing Tube Man. I think it was like 28 minutes in. I'll put a link in the description below if you want to check it out. I'm in there. That's the whole point. It's like I'm sitting right next to this guy, and all of a sudden, like, holy shit, you know, it's like they're gonna question. Oh, it was the lady who was wearing the war staff jacket. So after her, it was him, and I saw that she was on the camera. I was like, am I gonna be on the stream? Oh shit. And so there he is, and sure enough, as soon as they gets talking, and there I am, and I'm like, hey. So I'm just a dork trying to, you know, stay chill. I gave the peace sign and just like laughed and tried to stay still and just not be. I was just a dork. That's all I could say. I didn't know how to handle myself really, but I was just going along with it. And I felt bad for Tyler because he was so composed. He was like easy going, flowing, talking. He's very verbose, and then all of a sudden, as soon as the camera's on him and he wants to talk and has these important questions for Mark, and it's just like he gets tongue-tied. And but kudos to that man. That can't be easy. Even if I felt like if I was as chill and relaxed as I am, if this, you know, you're in front of thousands of people, both online and in person at the same time, and all of a sudden you have to share that moment. Yeah, it can't be easy to kind of find the words to speak out unless you've done it for as many times as they have, and just flow with the word, with what you want to say. But yeah, and I'm just there, just like boom, every time it cuts to me, there I am, just sitting right next to his. I guess if you're looking at the camera, I'm to his left, his right. Yeah, I'm to his right. The guy. But yeah, so there you go. That'll be some trivia for you. It's like, when was your first stream appearance on Twitch? Markiplier Friends Panel. It's for anyone who wants to ever remember that. Like, as soon as I get my stream going, which I pretty much mostly have, but anyway, that will actually have been my official first appearance on a Twitch stream. Cool. That's a good first start, if I do say so myself. But then later on, I went back to the main theater because it was held there at the Benaroya Hall, where they had concerts at night, and those were really fun because, you know, just looking for stuff to do. I actually bought the Triforce Quartet's CDs, and they were pretty cool. Actually signed them. Neat. So if you ever want to check them out, they're pretty awesome. There was some exclusive sets that they played at there, which I believe one of them was There was an accompaniment with drums. It was a boss battle for Final Fantasy, and that was awesome. Check out the stream if you can find it. I'm pretty sure it's archived on it. If you want to see it, I'll try to find a link and I'll put it in the description too. And they also did one for Undertale. Oh, that was beautiful. I loved it. I think it was like boom, 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 boom. You know the one. You know that one. I can't remember what it's called at the top of my head because I don't quite have the titles to the soundtrack memorized, except for Bone Trestle and Megalovania, because those are like popular. And the whole time I was there, and I understand what Jack meant. Finally, it's like how he gets the energy for these things after going to these panels and meeting all the people and all the cool people, and it's just like, oh, I want to do all the cool things, especially after you tell them in your person that you want to do cool things for them. It's like, oh, you got art, you gonna animate? It's like, it's like, I better keep up my end of the bargain on that one. Not that I owe them anything or they're expecting much, but to myself, I want to hold it to myself to like do something amazing and great, and hopefully for all of you to enjoy and for them to like marvel at. Because like I said, Jack, thank you for the thumbs up on that. I don't think YouTube will, unless there's a great incentive for it, because that's not where the money is, sadly, despite the talent. But I appreciate you trying to push for that initiative, and if it ever comes out of it, I will personally thank you again once I see you, because I do plan on going to another PAX in the future, and that'll be awesome. But what I was saying is that I understand the energy and how he's like, man, it's like, it's so great, and you just want to get back and you want to start work, and you get all these ideas, you're like so motivated and inspired, and it's just, yes, and you have it all in your head, like you can't wait. And of course it's going to take a while, especially for all your fellow animators or just simply artists or hell, editors, other YouTubers. It's just, it takes time, but it's worth it. I believe it's worth it. You make good content, you're kind, you're supportive, and it's gonna take the time, and it'll be worth it, and you just bring some cool and goodness in the world, But yeah, I'm totally jazzed. I want to get going on it. I totally forgot to mention, it was like the girlfriends were there. In the signing hall, I just want to mention this real quick before I move on to my next piece. Like Amy and Wishu, Sina, am I pronouncing that right? Molly, of course. What was her name? Amanda, Bob's wife. Yeah, they were all there. They were all standing off to the side, and they were just like kind of hanging tight. And I kind of wish I could have said hi to them personally, because I understand why they would stand off, and be their own thing and whatever. Because I think at least Wishu said that she, didn't want to be there, even though people voiced that they wanted to see them and say hi. But it was like all for Jack, and I respect that, I appreciate it. But I know I'm not alone and saying it's like it would have been cool to say hi to them and meet them and like appreciate them and give them gifts if you had them. I didn't have anything. I didn't bring anything with me. I was like, because especially after hearing that they voiced, they get enough and there's not enough room and there's millions of us and there's only one of them, and even Mark shut down his PO box. But I don't know. It would just been nice to have met them too, and for the most part I did at least meet Molly. I didn't get to see Amanda much. She was kind of very behind the scenes, but I did see her sitting down in the panel with Markiplier and Friends. They were all off into from my perspective, they were off to the right, so I guess from the stream, they would have been to your left. If the camera ever shoots down that low. They were like right there in the front with all the friends, the groupies, the fellow YouTubers. Yeah, maybe in the future, I guess, when things, because they're a great part of, they're the big part of their lives, they're important to Mark, Jack, Bob, Wade, and whatever, whomever, them. So it's not uncommon to expect that people, you bring them happiness, there's importance, so you appreciate them too, and you just want to say hi, say thanks for bringing joy to these people and being there for them and supportive, and being genuinely cool people yourselves, because from what I've seen so far, they're cool. So yay. All right, so there's that. The last thing I wanted to bring about, how long have I been going? Wow, I've talked a lot. So actually see if I can wrap this up real quick. Leading up to this, as I mentioned, I wasn't sure that I was actually going to go to PAX West to begin with. I had secured the tickets, and I was like, okay, I got them now. At least, that's the first step. And a lot of things in my life were still uncertain at that point, and I felt like as time went on, there were 3 separate times that I had to convince myself, like, to go. I actually was like thinking, it's like, no, it was like, I don't deserve this. Life's not right. You need to, you got this to worry about. You've got money here that you need to save up for. It's like, what are you doing? This trip is so frivolous. Why are you like bothering? It's like, it's not going to be anything as fantastic as you think it's going to be. It's not for you. Whatever. I just, the voice. These voices in the back of my mind would always be. It's like, it's not going to work out. Something's going to fall through. You're gonna. There's hundreds of dollars. And this isn't cheap. Despite all the value that's found in it, it's not something to just lightly engage upon. It takes a lot of planning. So, and the anxiety of all this and the stress involved, I kept thinking, it's like, well, I don't know, it's maybe, and I almost convinced myself, like, maybe you shouldn't go, but that's the thing. I was like, no. Every time it's like I had to, like, no, damn it, you're going, because come that day of, you don't go, you're gonna kick yourself for the rest of your life for never having, gone through the opportunity to be saying, man, I should have done this, man, I should have done that. And I've had plenty of moments of that in my life that I'm done with it. I'm tired of living in that fear, and then the regret and the what ifs and like what could have beens. And it's pretty much like where I'm going now with all this and the YouTubes, and the videos and the art, and it's just, for the longest time, I've just kind of lived in this self-doubt and fear, and just like thinking, it's just, I'm not worth it. It's like, I'm not worthy of this moment or these experiences or these people. And I'm so glad I went. So I just wanted to say to all of you out there, whoever thinks in any similar vein, to just don't give up and just, believe in yourself that you can, you do deserve good things in your life. If you can have the means and you're able to, or someone supports you to be able to do something, just go and do it, because, you only have one life and it only lasts for so long. And you don't want to get to the end of that road and think, oh man, I should have done this. Or, oh man, I could have been there and amongst all the other people and I could have had fun. No, don't ever be that person. Don't be like how I was through the majority of my life, where I thought, no, what's the point? I'm happy where I am. The status quo is great. There's nothing better for it, so why try? But yeah, I'm sorry I had to get some real talk in there, but this was actually something that was on my chest and plagued me throughout the leading up to the time of. But yeah, just don't live in regret. It's like, if you got goals and you got dreams, go out and do them. Find people out there who know, like, what's going on. It's like, who could support you, who are supportive for you, who are knowledgeable. And that's the thing when I was talking about great communities. I've met a lot of amazing people who have, like, just awakened this drive in me to, like, be a better person, to be a better, do greater things, see more amazing things. And it's like I owed it to myself in the end. Just like, you just got to do it for you, and it doesn't hurt to ask for help either. And if you find other people to do it, that's great. And that's how I try to extend out to you and everyone out there. And I thank you for the support you've given me. So the least I could do is just give it back, and just like, give you that chance and that hope and that drive, and maybe something from my experience can help you guys out. So, yeah, PAX, you know, and that's how it all started. PAX South, it woke me up. It just like, damn, you know, it's like the nova exploded, and now the nebula of creativity is just expanding out and, you know, creating new stars. And that's how the cycle goes, and it's beautiful and it's amazing, and I'm hoping I help someone else, and the people out there still continue to help me, and just help each other and make a great world, you know. So yeah, and that was my PAX experience and everything that I was thinking. I thank you for sitting through all this. I'm sorry I was a little long-winded in certain parts, but there's a lot of stuff I wanted to talk about, and I was just writing notes about the whole thing and just wanted to make sure I got it all out there. But I thank you for stopping by, everyone. It's been a great time. I want to continue making videos. I want to definitely hunker down for animations, so the videos, as I stated before, it'll be a little more slower going. I'll still upload them when I have the time, but for the most part, I'm going to try to focus more on my art, maybe do some streams. I definitely want to try to do some streams, but my thing is like trying to figure out what I want to stream about. But we'll see. So yeah. All right, so I gotta wrap this up. So thank everyone for stopping by. I really appreciate it, and I will see you all guys in the next video. Adios. Being Rooster Teeth, it was all centered around the content creators that were there. In fact, they focused all of their animation stuff over in the Hilton that was right across the street from the convention center. I tried to get into some of those panels because I was really interested in like how they did the development or whatever, but I was... When's the next PAX? Can't wait. I'm gonna try to go to East. That'll be awesome. So if you're gonna be there, I'll be there too. Yeah.